What does this news mean then? That you've now got this extension and change in use of your license to us then?
Right, yeah. The amended license was announced on Monday, July 14th. And what that does for Cable and Wireless Isle of Man is that it offers the opportunity for us to serve the Isle of Man customers, both business and residents, with a wider range of telecommunications services. Up till now, it has purely been the mobile business, and we've been servicing our consumers extremely well, providing choice, higher value, and more importantly, cost efficiencies, so lower savings of by about 33%. We'll be able to extend that reach to provide residents and businesses internet access, fixed line services, and even fixed line voice. So they can expect to see the same quality of service, value for money, and lower cost going forward.
Well, that's the one, isn't it? I mean, people are interested in the cost savings. It's always perceived a monopoly is going to be slightly more, possibly more expensive.
Yeah.
What are you going to bring to the party?
Yeah, right. You're absolutely right. In a monopoly environment, prices tend to be stable, stay as they are, with the increasing pressures that the consumers are experiencing in today's inflationary markets, where cost savings is very important for individuals and businesses. We bring to the market a choice, and with that choice, we bring the value of high quality services and efficiencies in the way we run our organization. And I think that's probably the key differentiator between a monopoly and a competitive enterprise, is that we really do work very hard in deriving the efficiencies in the organization, which translates to savings, cost savings, and quality of service to our consumers. That's most important, we do that. And the way we run our organization throughout the Channel Islands, Isle of Man and Bermuda is that we leverage our capabilities, strengths to the betterment of each market. So whilst we have a team here, a very focused team, highly group of professionals, they're supported by at least 300 other employees within our region that all goes to serve the interests of the consumer here in the Isle of Man.
What did you have to do to get this license amended? Have you applied a long time ago? I mean, it wasn't on the cards as such, was it? I mean, you've actually gone and asked for it.
Well, that's right. Back last year, a year ago, in fact, we celebrated our first anniversary last week. It has always been our interest to be a full service provider to the consumers here in the Isle of Man. The first entry, as granted by the Communications Commission, was to provide mobile services and to demonstrate that we were a serious player, that we provided the quality of service that the Isle of Man community demands, and we've done that. Well into last year, we actually did apply then for an extension or an amendment to the license to extend the range of services, and we worked hand in hand with the government of the Isle of Man to make sure that we were able to provide those services. So it's been a bit of a process, but the process is very important to follow in making sure that when the license was granted, that we were well positioned to start the next generation of services for our consumers here.
Now, you've already done this in the Channel. Is it Guernsey or Jersey you've got to fix lines?
We have actually both Guernsey and Jersey. In Guernsey, we are the full service provider. We actually acquired Jersey Telecom about 5 years ago. And since that time, reinvented the network with investment in people and systems and infrastructure. And during that time also, we're granted a license to operate a full service in the Jersey market. And like the Isle of Man, we went in with mobile first, but continuing to expand the infrastructure base to now serve both businesses with fixed wire services, internet, high speed, both local and global communications, of which we want to now do the same here in the Isle of Man. The capabilities of Cable and Wireless, both local and global, are quite impressive. And when you look at the global reach of Cable and Wireless and its global networks, we bring to the markets that we serve a unique proposition that only enhances the economic developments of the country.
But you bought Jersey Telecom. I mean, you took out some of the competition. Would you be looking at doing the same with Manx Telecom?
Oh, no, we acquired Guernsey Telecom.
Telecom.
Yeah, and that was really 5 years ago when the market reform was taking place. In Jersey, there's still Jersey Telecom, and they're the incumbent, and of course we're the new entrant there. And that creates its unique challenges. I think what's important also is the regulatory environment by which we operate in, and each of the islands, both Bermuda, Jersey, Guernsey, and the Isle of Man. The regulatory environments are all different stages of development, different issues, different levels of competition, and we find it quite interesting, to say the least, and challenging, to work our businesses within the limits and constraints that the local regulators impose. And I can say that in the Isle of Man, with the recent announcement of the new regulator, Carmel McLaughlin, she clearly brings a wealth of experience to the industry. And I think through her leadership, we'll see some great things happening in the telecommunications arena, both in terms of introducing various light touch regulation, because heavy touch regulation doesn't necessarily work. It's important for the carriers to work together. But we're needed. I'm sure that herself and also the Communications Commission will do the right things to make sure the health of the industry is maintained, but more importantly, the consumers are best served.
Do you want to buy Manx Telecom?
Do you want to? That's a loaded question. No, actually, we have a license here that now gives us a full reach, and we've made a great investment here through our mobile business, through the Sure brand. This license grant today, earlier this week, was really a next stage of our development in the Isle of Man, and we seek to extend our benefits and reach to the consumer. We're going to do that through investment in people and infrastructure, and we believe that we've got a good business of which we can continue to build and grow and be quite a competitive force to Manx Telecom as well as any other entrant to the market who may be contemplating working here in the Isle of Man.
So that was yes or no to buying Manx Telecom?
Well, let me say, if it was ever an opportunity, we would look at it.
Thank you very much. Light touch. On the regulators, but still the fact of the matter is, and I know it looks at it, if I want to move my business from Manx to your business, I can't take my number with me, which it does seem quite bizarre in this day and age.
It does, that's right. And what's been put into place, particularly in the Guernsey and Jersey markets, is what's called MNP, that's mobile number portability. And that simply says that you can keep your number, but you can move between the carriers of your choice. And I think that's important for consumers. In fact, it's vitally important for the health and development of the industry. At the end of the day, we're here to serve the consumer. And if we implement or have in place various measures that restricts the movement of our customers, we're lessening the effects of competition. That's not good for the community. So in Guernsey and Jersey, there is a commitment amongst the carriers and also the regulators of both countries to really drive this agenda forward. And we do see by December 1st this year, the full mobile number portability being put in place. Now, we have been working here in the Isle of Man with the same concept, and we were hoping that by the end of this year, we'd have mobile number portability in the Isle of Man market. Again, if you're a client of Manx Telecom and you want to switch across to the Shore, and you want to keep your number, which is most important because businesses have numbers, people know the numbers, and to change it creates all sorts of chaos. We'll be able to do that. However, the process has taken a little longer than we had hoped. We've actually registered this with the local regulator here in the Isle of Man, and she's going to keep an eye on progress because, again, it's important for the consumers here to be well served. So we hope it'll be in place. It'll probably be early quarter one next year. That's somewhere between January and March of next year. Okay,
finally, when will the first landline be up and running and connected?
Well, now that we have the grant of the license, we are actually well advanced in terms of implementing the first product range, and that is really our Sure Voice service. And we just have to complete one or two more technical tests with Manx Telecom now that the license has been granted, and we expect within the next fortnight to have that done. So by the end of this month, July, the consumers will be able to take advantage of our fixed line voice services to provide further savings going forward as one of many initiatives we seek to roll out. Now it's focused both on business and residential customers, but also behind that, not just voice, but we have high-speed off-island and even on-island data communications. And that's vitally important for our business community who depend on communications to serve the needs both locally and globally. And we're excited about the opportunity to do it. We think by October this year, we'll be in a position then to sell the high-speed broadband services and internet, both point to point in the UK and around the world. Starting at that point. So we're quite excited about this new opportunity to drive our business to the next level here in the Isle of Man.
Should people be worried about their roads being dug up and new lines being put in, or will you be using local lines as already there?
Yeah, building of networks domestically is always a challenge in every market, and every market's concerned about the chaos and the disruption that takes place to the community by digging roads up and putting infrastructure. I'm an advocate of a service-based competition model as opposed to facilities-based. And what that means is facilities-based competition means that every competitor builds their own networks and they duplicate networks. And I've seen it in all the markets that I've worked in where you have networks that are running on the same duct in the same street, which is really unproductive when it comes to the investment that's put into place. On a service-based model, we build one infrastructure. And on that infrastructure, we then share the use. And that does two things. One is you're able to get more value out of the commonly shared network, and it's a lower cost for any competitor entering the market. And what they focus on then is the service layer, quality of service, the customer experience, the range of services, and of course the price that goes with it. So, I'm a clear advocate, particularly in the small market economies like Bermuda, Isle of Man, Jersey, and Guernsey and others around the world, that the service-based model is an ideal model to be put into place. And we've spoken again to the regulator here in the Isle of Man, as we've done in the other jurisdictions, and they too recognize that is important. So going back to your original question, based on the service-based model, there isn't a need for us to dig roads up if infrastructure is already in place and we come to a commercial arrangement, say with Manx Telecom or any other provider of telecom capabilities, that we use that instead of duplicating. That really doesn't add any further value to the consumer.
Okay, really finally, are you going to get us the highest possible speeds on the internet? Is what people want to know. Are you going to push the competition, push the boundaries?
Absolutely. I mean, we're here to be we're a serious player. We're not going to come and just diddle-daddle around the outside. We pride ourselves in the quality of service that we bring to the jurisdictions we serve around the world. What's important is that Cable & Wireless has great capabilities and strengths in data and global communications that we want to make sure the Isle of Man benefits. So this is all about building network infrastructure. It's going to take a bit of time to get our networks to where we want them to be. But we're going to start out pretty quickly within the next three months to be in a position to start offering a good base communications bandwidth, particularly amongst the business enterprise group. And we're expecting, easily up to the 100 megs, the 1 gigabit capabilities on off the island. So we're very serious about delivering some high value propositions that are much needed in the community here, and that all drives the local economy. And we're excited to be part of that.